For those of you of the uninitiated, Whalers Night is just where the Canes wear all the Whalers gear and the fans embrace it, and you play the old Whalers fight songs. And because what was it, 26, 27 years ago now, the Whalers,
28 now.
The Hartford Whalers, 28, moved down here and became the Carolina Hurricanes.
It was 97.
Gosh, time flies when you're almost back to winning cups. All right, maybe that was a cheap zing there.
Come on.
Listen, Whalers Night, I think it might be coming at the perfect time. And I'm going to explain why maybe changing your uniform and your gloves could actually do something here. But first, I don't know if I've ever seen a team overthinking things the way that the Hurricanes are right now. Every night, the lines are changed. Every question is answered with like a Shakespearean monologue, right? It's never just, we're going to relax and play hockey. It's always, I have examples here. Ryan Henkel, the Hockey News, quoted Jordan Martinook, Party Marty, the guy that has a beer, right? The guy that is good vibes, he's Martinook. Talking about the new players, the Taylor Hall, Mikko Rantanen, this was Martinook. They've been great in the room. There hasn't been an issue. But I think when you bring in different players, and we've all kind of been guilty of this, it's like, we're bringing in Mikko, a big point getter, and Taylor, MVP. And you're like, okay, they're going to take over. But it shouldn't impact anything in our games. We need to show them what we do. That's made this team successful. And then they can join in on that and then bring their skill set to our foundation. I think as a group, we haven't done a great enough job around them to show them how we play. Which is fine, but how about just relax? Jordan Martinook, that's a full paragraph of like the psyche of the new guys, the old guys, the this changed, that changed. And I already had this as a theme of the night. And then if you haven't seen it, it came out this afternoon. Sebastian Aho penned a long article for the Players Tribune, which is a online periodical sports website started by Derek Jeter a bunch of years ago, which supposedly eliminates the middleman. Okay, there's no article. You don't have to give a press conference with quotes and depend on some journalist to go tell your story. The players write the articles on the Players Tribune. And Sebastian Aho wrote a long article for the Players Tribune. I am tempted to put like a John Williams movie score behind it. It's like he's writing what is it, Bill Pullman in Independence Day, the speech right before the Dennis Quaid's older little brother, whatever it is, went flying up into the if you haven't seen Independence Day, you're not going to get this.
Everyone knows the Independence Day speech.
I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it. Like that's what I think. Aho, I'm going to read part of it. I just have to. Aho and the Players Tribune. This is the very first paragraph. I think about the playoff losses a lot. It hurt then, and it hurts now. Each one of them stays with me. It stays with us. We have scar tissue. That's the honest truth. There's no point in lying about it. It's there. And it's a part of who this team is, of who we're going to be, and I'm thinking about it now. Not because I'm taking the regular season for granted, or because we're already thinking ahead. It's actually the opposite of that. This year's team, we don't want to just be talented or a tight group. We want to have a real identity, something that we can rely on.
Easy there, man.
No matter what happens during a month or game or series, something that we know is us.
I think you're getting a little dramatic here.
Us is in italics. He wants it dramatic. Something that is true to Hurricane hockey through and through. And that thing is simple. Hard work. Hard work in italicized because he wants it emphasized. He basically gives like a eulogy for Rod Brind'amour in this thing, where he goes and cites Rod Brind'amour holding the cup with Cam Ward. I was 8 years old watching it on YouTube. And I remember Rod when he was our power play coach, and we would be on the flight home and he wouldn't be talking because he'd be watching film. I'm going like, You were in the playoffs last year. You're going to be in the playoffs this year. Like, everybody just relax a second. There's no impending Independence Day spaceship up there threatening to end the world. You're playing hockey.
Are you saying Aho wrote this in response to all this criticism? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're implying?
I'm saying I don't know why you write this.
Why not? If the guy has the impulse or whatever it is to put that out there, it's on him. He has the right to do it.
I'm not saying he doesn't have the right to.
Okay, so then why are you bashing him for it?
I'm saying it's every game is being put on this incredible pedestal, and I've seen athletes fall down this path. Actually, you know what? You ready for some self-depreciation? I wasn't going to do this, but now I am.
Okay.
I'm going to take you back to my birthday, 2011. The day before the Delaware Blue Hens lost the national championship game. I was a member of the team with absolutely no fingerprint on the game or the playoff run. I was a backup quarterback and backup holder. We lost. We had a 19-point lead at halftime, and we lost the game. This is what I put on Facebook that next day. Not proud of it. And every year, you know how Facebook like kicks up your memories? Mm-hmm. Every year when they're like, you have memories on this day. It's my birthday, and I absolutely despise it because I'm like, I'm going to cringe reading this. This is what I wrote the day after we lost the national championship. Seniors, you showed us what it takes to get there. We know it starts tomorrow. We know there is no offseason. We know we have to go 1-0 every day. You showed us what all in means. We will be back, and it will be different. Guess what? We missed the playoffs the next year. We did not get back, and it was not different. I think the opposite is what's needed here. Instead of going high-level theory, instead of going the losses, they stick with us forever, right? And I read the whole Aho thing. I encourage you to go do it.
It's a great read.
It's an interesting read. Like I find it extremely entertaining. But talking about how these losses stick with you forever, he goes back to early in his career, and he goes back to the 2019 run, and he goes back to every loss and what it felt like against Boston to not get over the hump, and how it took all of this good energy from Game 7 against Washington in double overtime, and from the highest of highs, you hit the lowest of lows. And I'm going, that's not how you get anybody to relax, to say, hey, if we lose this year, you're still going to be hurting from it 7 years from now. Which is why I think you need to get the brain out of the way. Which is why Whalers night might be at the perfect time. The late, great Gene Hackman passed away yesterday. We'll talk about it. You know, obviously there's Hoosiers, there's The Replacements, there's some all-time great sports movies. So we'll have some fun with it, celebrating a great actor, not just in sports movies, but in other movies. But in honor of him, I'm going to reference some sports movies today. Tin Cup. You ever watch Tin Cup?
Oh, yeah.
Roy McAvoy, Kevin Costner.
Mm-hmm.
There is a moment where he has the yips, right? He's getting ready to play in the U.S. Open, and a golfer has the yips. He has the shanks. He's at the range, and he has all the legends next to him, and he's firing chili dippers down 90-degree angles. What does his caddy tell him to do? Romeo, legendary. I went and found the quote, so I'll give it to you. Romeo said, first of all, Roy calls him over and says, figure it out why I'm shanking. I'm catching it on the hosel, moving my head. I'm laying it off. My swing feels like an unfolding chair. Romeo, put your change in your left pocket. Go on, do it. Now, tie your left shoe in a double knot right now. Do it. Turn your hat backwards. Turn your hat around. Do it, Roy. Take this tee and stick it behind your left ear. Roy responds with, I look like a fool. Romeo says, do it now or I quit. They go on. He takes the first swing right down the middle. You're cured. Why? His brain was getting in the way, and he wasn't thinking about something else. He wasn't thinking about hitting it. He was thinking about the change and the tee and the hat, and he just swung and right down the middle. Canes are letting their brains get in the way. I'm convinced of it. So quick, take off your jersey. Put on this green one. Quick, go get new gloves. Play different music over the loudspeakers. Change a whole bunch of stuff that really doesn't change anything. Just like taking the change out of your pocket and putting it in the other pocket doesn't really change anything. But just think about something different. Get your brain out of the way and go play hockey. Sebastian Aho is really good at hockey. Mikko Rantanen is really good at hockey. Jordan Staal, we could go on and on. They're really good at hockey. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just go play hockey. I don't need a monologue. I want a good look at a power play. That's where I'm at right now with the Canes. And I hope Whalers night, because they're wearing green jerseys, takes them out of their own brain just 1%. Just it's the 6 inches. What is Yogi Berra say, right? 6 inches between your ears, the most important real estate in sports. Mm-hmm. Just 1 centimeter outside of that realm. Just get out of your own brain. That's what I'm looking for tonight. And I'm a little disappointed I didn't get to read more dramatic Sebastian Aho words. Maybe I'll come back to it. Felt like a good acting exercise. Like I should be somewhere with an acting coach.